Good evening, everybody. This is Mechanical Spencer with another live stream about daylight saving time.
Good evening, everybody.
Excuse me?
This is
That was not. Weird start. Alright. Let's try that again. Good evening, everybody. This is Mechanical Spencer with another live stream about daylight saving time. Take a little bit of time to get comfortable on getting into this live stream, and we will get started here in a little bit. All right, guys, welcome. This is another live stream of daylight saving time. Today, I'm going to show you a video from an article called Americans Want More Sunshine, quote unquote. Senator Patty Murray makes floor speech calling for permanent daylight saving time. This is very interesting because there are politicians, there are Democrats and Republicans that want standard time, at least in my guess. And there are Republicans and Democrats that want permanent daylight saving time. Now, as I mentioned before, what we're going to do today is I'm going to bust the myths that Senator Murray is going to put on the Senate floor, the U.S. Senate floor, that I'm going to bust tonight. Other than that, let's get started here. Hang on, let me share my screen here. If you haven't heard of permanent standard time yet, all you do is go to savestandardtime.com and it will take you to that website. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. It's time to watch this video here.
Ask that the quorum call be lifted.
without objection.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to speak as morning business.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I come to the floor today because it is time to make daylight savings time permanent. This Sunday, millions of Americans are going to once again roll their clocks back, and in no time next spring, they'll have to roll their clocks forward.
Of course. That is the ritual that we do in America right now. Because special interests and corporations have been lobbying for this since 1930, as Michael Downing says in that podcast called The Reasoning Behind Daylight Saving. You should go check out that podcast.
For what reason? I don't know a single person who loves to go through the trouble of figuring out whether their microwave or their oven has the hour right, or anyone who looks forward to the sun setting earlier and earlier every winter. But beyond convenience, this really is a matter of health and safety. Studies have shown that our switch to standard time can increase rates of seasonal depression, as well as heart problems and the risk of stroke.
Bogus! That is a big, fat lie. According to Hillary Brueck from the article called Daylight Saving Time is Literally Killing Us, it's time to end the switch. Brueck states hospitals report a 24% spike in heart attack visits around the U.S. on the Monday after the switch forward. And doctors report a 21% drop on the Monday after switching back. Ladies and gentlemen, that statement that Senator Murray just said is total bogus. Don't even listen to that lie.
Researchers also believe that if we made daylight saving time permanent, there would be fewer car accidents.
Fewer car accidents. Really? The dark mornings are when the most car accidents occur, just like what happened in 1974, the so-called Sunshine Protection Act, or should I say Shifting Act, as James C. Clark puts it. Now I'm going to continue playing this because I will explain this later.
And even robberies, thanks to a more regular schedule and an extra hour of sun. And there are studies that indicate permanent daylight savings time could offset reduced economic activity that we see during standard time and even lead to greater energy
Let me rewind this video.
time. Could offset, there are studies that indicate permanent daylight saving time could offset reduced economic activity that we see during standard time and
Of course. Why is there reduced economic activity in standard time? In the winter time in standard time, the sun's not out very much. And unfortunately, that's how winter naturally is. There's absolutely nothing we can do to change how much sunlight that we can have in a given day. We're always going to have that amount of sunlight that the sun is going to be out. However, we can change the amount of hours that we can have in a given day. Now let's continue this video.
even lead to greater energy saving. The people
Greater energy saving is bogus. Total bogus. According to According to Catherine Porter from Why Daylight Saving is Bad for the Environment. If I can find this, here it is. Daylight saving time costs Indiana homes an extra $8.6 million in electricity bills, mostly from chugging air conditioners. Chugging air conditioners. Is this energy saving? Is this energy saving by letting the air conditioners run an extra hour in the summertime? Really? Big fat lie. Do not even believe that. Big myth.
in my home state of Washington know this. That's why we have already passed legislation to switch to permanent daylight savings time.
Florida's one of them.
And it is not just Washington. States across the country, from Florida and California and Maine and many more, have now passed legislation in their states or resolutions to make daylight saving time year-round. But they are powerless to enact the overwhelming will of the people until they get federal approval.
That's because permanent daylight saving time is illegal federally. Because it was repealed after Nixon resigned after 8 months of this experiment. I'm going to tell you the side effects in a little bit about what happened back in 1974.
To put it simply, Madam President,
Madam President? She said Mr. President. It's Mr. President.
Americans want more sunshine and less depression.
Americans want more synchronized biological clocks. That is the truth. But Americans wanting more daylight time, that's a myth.
That is actually why I'm very proud to co-sponsor the bipartisan Sunshine Protection Act of 2021, which would extend daylight savings time permanently, so Americans can enjoy having sunlight during their most productive hour of the day and never have to worry about changing their clocks again.
Let me rewind this video.
During their most productive hour of the day, so Americans can enjoy having sunlight during their most productive hour of the day and never have to worry about changing their clocks again.
Sunshine in their most productive hour. Really? After the switch forward, sleep deprivation goes way up. When you lose an hour of sunlight every year, when you lose 1 hour of sleep every year, sleep deprivation goes way up on the Monday after the switch forward. Going into daylight saving, your biological clock will be out of sync. Period. Don't even believe that.
Congress has to be part of the solution. Here's a
I know Congress has to be part of the solution by passing the right, how should I say this? The right bill that will establish permanent standard time across this country. Permanent standard time is the quickest, healthiest, and the most civil way to reduce all the complications that are happening in this country. Now let's keep playing.
bipartisan issue that we can and we should all get behind. Now, I am working very hard to support the passage of this bill, however possible, but there is something my constituents are truly fed up with. So I'm also pressing the Department of Transportation.
Of course, we are fed up with changing our clocks 2 times a year. I get that. But if we're staying on the wrong time zone, say, most of Indiana observes Atlantic time right now, and 12 of the 92 counties are observing Eastern. So all of Indiana observes the wrong time zone during the summer. And 12 of the 92 counties will fall back into Central time, which is the right time zone for Indiana. Period. Let's keep playing.
To explore every avenue available to them to at least let states like mine, whose voters overwhelmingly want permanent daylight savings time, to have it.
Bogus. Now I'm going to explain the side effects that happened during this experiment. Now I'm going to read this article. The reaction to Nixon's plan came quickly. You know what? I'm just going to summarize this. All this bill accomplished back in 1974 was move darkness from afternoon to morning. That's like cutting off one part of the blanket and transferring that part of the blanket, covering your head, and transferring it to your feet and calling it a longer blanket. No, it doesn't happen like that. What was the result of this? Millions of school children were going to school in pitch black darkness. More 16 and 17 and 18-year-olds were driving in pitch black darkness. Accidents soared. Parents and schools protested about this. After just 8 months of this experiment, Nixon resigns, and Congress repeals this experiment. So you see, the U.S. has tried this experiment, but it failed miserably. But yet Senator Rubio and Senator Murray want it back? Really? Why bring back something that hasn't worked in the past? Are you kidding me? What is the cruddy point? Exactly. Now I'm going to keep playing this video.
Madam President, in this country, when people have demanded changes to daylight saving rules, or if it benefits the country, like saving daylight during World War I
or shifting daylight, as James C. Clark puts it,
oil embargo in the 1970s, we have simply just changed the rules. No one wants dark afternoons during the winter.
Of course, dark afternoons is normal during the winter. As I mentioned before, there is absolutely nothing that all humans can do to change that. And no legislation will be able to change that, period. We have to go the amount of daylight time that is already provided for us. Now I'm going to keep playing this.
Or to lose an hour of sleep every spring.
Losing an hour is the biggest problem that we face as Americans. Because when we lose an hour, there's heart attacks, strokes, car accidents, other effects of sleep deprivation going up, way up. I'm going to show you another study. According to AAN.com, this article this was presented at the American Academy of Neurology 68th annual meeting, Vancouver, Canada. People with cancer were 25% more likely to have a stroke after daylight saving than during another period. The risk was also higher for those that's over age 65. who are 20% more likely to have a stroke right after the transition. Now, this happens on the Monday after the switch. On Sunday, you're not going to see very much. But on the Monday, this will happen.
And I can assure you that every parent that has to deal with a child every time we change the clock and it upsets their routines will be behind this.
The switching forward is what upsets your routine.
So for goodness sakes, voters across the country have shown that they support this. Research shows that it is good for public health.
Public health? Really? Permanent daylight saving is not good for public health. After I mentioned the statistics with heart attacks, strokes, and I'm not sure what statistics are for car accidents, but these are just the side effects of it. Daylight saving also causes many other complications, but these are just the few of them.
And studies actually demonstrate real economic and energy saving benefits.
Like I said before, 8.6 million extra dollars in electricity bills with chugging air conditioners, period.
So, Madam President, I urge that we pass the Sunshine Protection Act and finally make debt savings time permanent. Thank you, Madam President. I yield the floor.
Mr. President, I urge for permanent standard time year-round, for better synchronized biological clocks, less heart attacks, strokes, and other effects of sleep deprivation. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen a little bit here. When representatives and senators are trying to push something that is wrong, it's going to cause side effects no matter what. So now that I busted the myths of what's really happening, what do we do about it? It's very simple. If you're on this live stream right now, I'm urging you to go to safestandardtime.com/action. One of the first actions you can do is contact your state and congressional leaders. Now, there are 3 options you can do. You can contact the American Academy of Sleep with the pre-written letter, ResistBot. Now, there are instructions to follow. So I don't know the experience of a first-time user, or I don't know. And there's 270 to win. Type in where you live in the search bar, and your state and congressional leaders will be listed. There's also a petition that you can sign right here. I'm going to actually go to the petition right now. Right now there are 3,230 people that have signed this petition. And their goal is to get to 5,000. Now, these are just 2 of the actions that I'm going to mention today. I hope that we can make this change soon. Fall back and stay there. But here in Indiana, we need to fall back by 2 hours. You want to know why? Because Indiana is in the central time zone, which is 6 hours behind UTC, or Universal Time Coordinated, or GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, whatever people want to call it. I hope you all liked this video and live stream today. Give this video a thumbs up. Please share this live stream with the people you know. Stop believing the lies of our government favoring special interests and lobbyists. Start knowing the truths of what's really happening in this country with daylight shifting. I'm going to use the name shifting from here, or saving, whatever term that I want to use. This is not all going to happen overnight, but with persistence, perseverance, and patience, this change will happen. I appreciate you listening to my live stream today, and have an amazing journey. Have a great night, everybody.